Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms. In this video, we'll take a look at what your person's next actions towards you are going to be, and also a little bit of a sneak peek of where all this is headed. So the first pile we have here is the rose quartz, then the second one here with the tiger's eye crystal. It looks different on the other side. Then we have the green aventurine as pile 3, and pile 4 is the sunstone. Just going to show a close-up of the rose quartz as well. Yes. Okay, so make sure to choose your pile with your intuition. If you're not sure how, you can visit the video in the ribbon above. And once you've made your choice, you can select your reading from the timestamps. They will be in the comments and the description box. Whenever you are ready, we will get started. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's get started with your reading. You chose the rose quartz over here. Let's see what your person's next actions towards you are going to be. Pile 1's person's next actions towards Pile 1. Can we get some insights, please? Pile 1's person's next actions. What do we have for rose quartz? Pile 1, yes. We have card number 11. Your past supports your future. Some type of renewal, some type of new beginning showing up. Okay, let's see. This can be an old connection in some way. We also have integrate your knowing. So you could have been like classmates, for example, or met in college or in some previous workplace, and things had not worked out at the moment. But since then, whatever work you guys have done in your individual lives, that is coming to a close. That chapter is ending and you're kind of ready for a new tomorrow with a future possible for you. Okay, we have the distraction of shiny things, and we also have fill your cup with sacred giggles at the bottom here. Okay, so integrate your knowing is again absorbing the lessons that you have learned in your individual lives. You both might have went separate ways, and if this is like a newer connection, that this is talking about how the relationships you have had in the past, the karmic connections, and also the soul connections, which were only meant for a temporary period of time, the things that you went through and learned through those people are just going to be very, very essential in this upcoming, in this connection that you're talking about now, right? And for some of you, it can also be like this is really brand new, but it is moving in a very natural way quite quickly. And that can be because you share a past of sorts. It can be a spiritual past as well. The destruction of shiny things can be talking about how there has been some sort of like distractions, either on their side or your side. Can be external circumstances that keep getting in the way and does not allow complete flourishing of the relationship. Bad timing, right people, something of that sort. Good chemistry, but unable to take the practical steps and ground that connection. Many different situations can come under this category. Also, it can be that in the past there was a distraction of shiny things, and you've had to work through how not to let the external situations distract you or the other person from the relationship that you're trying to build. And in the process of doing all of that, you're actually taking matters into your own hands. You're learning personal accountability. You are manifesting your own reality. You are really actively thinking about what it is in your life that you want and seek and value and respect. What is worth your time? And by doing so, you're making more space for happiness, which makes more space for higher vibe energy, which means more love. You are treating yourself with love when you make yourself a priority, not to the point where you neglect other people or that you don't care about someone else's needs or wishes, because come on, there is empathy and compassion as well, but it's a very tender balance, right, to find an equal footing for others and also yourself. So I feel as though that was a little bit lacking in, if there has been a past with this person or someone else, it could have been part of your lessons to learn how much you should give into a relationship or for them. Okay, apply it as it fits here. Okay, so pile 1's person's next steps towards pile 1. What are they? Okay, next steps towards pile 1. Pile 1's persons. Okay, we have The first card that came out here is the Devil. Yeah, the fears, the traumas, insecurities. We have Four of Pentacles, which is holding in feelings and thoughts, keeping things private, under wraps, secretive. Can talk about deception as well. Again, it can be something of the past, right, that has been worked on, because it talks about things that hold you back, fears and insecurities that live within you, the shadows that are existent within. For example, not wanting to commit and wanting to keep things to themselves and being like, okay, I'm solo, for example. That can be pointing towards a fear of commitment, which means something has happened in the past that releases or removes their fear, removes their faith, from the possibility of a good, secure and stable relationship, right? So these fears need to be worked on. We also have Four of Swords, which is related with healing, 4 and 4 again, so wanting to reach a point of stability. It depends where you are in this journey. If you guys have like recently separated, for example, then this journey is about to begin, and you can just see how this path is going to lead to an integration of sorts, okay? Some new knowledge coming up here. But if you're already in the midst of it and you have already learned these topics, then this can be pointing towards union as the next step. So take it as it resonates. It's Four of Swords, yes. Healing, introspection, dreaming. We have Nine of Pentacles. And we have Queen of Pentacles. There is definitely a lot of respect. The prioritizing, respecting the self, self-care, self-worth, self-awareness and knowledge. All of these things are very heavy in your reading. Fours are about stability, and the Devil is the Capricorn energy, which is also an earth sign. The Pentacles are earth signs. So things are going to move steadily. Okay? For some people, it can feel a little bit too slow, and you might decide to just not bother with this type of connection and just go your own way. It depends for everyone how it pans out, because let's face it, it's not just them who's in this equation, you are as well. So things are going to move based on both of your trajectories here, whatever you decide. So yes, for some of you this might be a little bit slow and you don't want to bother. You're fine with yourself and you're going to wait for someone who can match your speed. And that's absolutely okay. They're going to respect your decisions. They're going to respect you regardless. And it's kind of like there can be some type of insecurity where they don't want to overstep their bounds as well. They feel as though you have really high standards and you're sort of like a queen or an empress type of vibe with the Queen of Pentacles, and they have to work harder to be deserving of your love and affection, to deserve this type of stability where they can feel safe and nurtured all at the same time, as being passionate as well. Right, so that type of balance where it's not one or the other, but both in very healthy quantities and limits, they don't feel like they already are there. Let's clarify the Devil. Pile One's person, let's clarify the Devil. Yes, we have the Ace of Pentacles, scared to make a new beginning. We have Four of Pentacles, let's clarify that. Four of Pentacles, what's that talking about? Thank you. We have Five of Cups, yeah, holding back because of some past relationships or connections that have not worked out. Again, 3 cups over here are broken, and you're choosing to focus on that because it's like in the immediate vicinity, but in the distance there's also 2 cups over here which are available for union. So give it another chance. That's like the urge of the universe. Learn from the past, take the lessons and leave the rest, right? You don't need to keep repeating the pain over and over again. When something does not work out, try to see if there's something in there that needs to be learned. If yes, learn it. If not, release it. Okay? And after learning, you don't need to carry forward that same pain and hurt. That's not the purpose of it. Okay, so 5 of Cups, I feel like they're struggling with this. Okay, 4 of Swords, let's clarify. Yes, we have the Chariot over here. They're sleeping on it, wondering, hoping and wishing for forward movement, but at the same time there is a passivity here. So they're not able to unite the shadows to the light, so what they want to do versus what they're, you know, saying to themselves that pulls them backward. So their insecurities versus their hopes and dreams. That's something that's happening here. If they are into spirituality, they can be getting into meditations and wanting to work on this very actively, very determined to fix these issues. And again, it depends where you are in this journey and how aware you are of your own spirit and so on, or they rather, which is going to determine how fast the chariot is going to move. But the purpose of this connection and of the separation was to make both of you aware of the things that hold you back in being vulnerable, being more expressive. What is needed for each one of you to feel safe? It's important to know, right? So that's what's going on here. Yes, Nine of Pentacles, let's clarify that. Nine of Pentacles, yes. What do we have? We have the Nine of Swords and we have the Elder of Cups. So it can be that the depth of their feelings is very scary to them. That's as well possible. Could be getting some sleepless nights. And also there is that anxiety that perhaps you're way beyond their league, and you're capable of understanding and comprehending a lot more and a lot deeper than they will ever be. And it can be that you go through lessons very quickly, or you heal yourself very expertly, or you're working in that direction, so you're very focused on self-love and healing, and it's as though they're afraid that they cannot match to that same depth or that same speed. Okay, what else do we have? Feelings, yes, out of the league and all of that. Yes, we have Six of Cups. Fears of having moved on. Six of Cups can be an X card as well. So it's like, why would you still want them? You know, you're happy with your single life, for example, or it was a thing of the past and it does not need to be repeated. That's kind of a fear that is there, and they just use that as an excuse to hold their feelings back or not reach out to you or not make any forward movement. And they're like, you know what, let's just take it slow and let's see what happens in the natural way. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Let's clarify that. Wow. Alright, so we have the Elder of Swords or the King of Swords. We have the Moon and we have the Two of Swords. So needing to listen to intuition instead of logic, that is needed in order for them to feel grounded, but at the same time they are listening to their logic, right? So that's what's holding them back. The ego and the logic are so like adjacent. You want to present yourself to the world in a certain way. You want to feel composed and very casual, nonchalant, that type of vibe. So whenever they do come forward, and it's going to be again a slow and steady step, and it's going to be very ginger steps, okay, like very little things. It's not going to be out of the blue and just barging into your life. No, there can be some type of guilt as well, by the way, with the Nine of Swords, the Devil, Cups. There can be some type of guilt, perhaps related with the distraction. Yeah. Like, it can also be that they got distracted by material wealth and possessions, or like the career aspect of things, and kind of put the emotions on the back burner while you were still in communication. And there is a form of regret or guilt regarding that. And therefore, intuitively, you know, the feeling is rather that, you know, make amends and return things into balance and make things constructive and move forward in a productive manner, right? But at the same time, it's like, why? You know, is it possible? Perhaps there's a lot that has happened. There's too many illusions over here, so many layers to comb back, and where do I even begin? And then again, you know, it just keeps looping in the head over and over again. So there needs to be a place of solidity, a form of stability that needs to occur within them. Okay. What do we have here? No, I'm not going to take that. Yes, we have the High Priestess at the very bottom. So that's needing to listen to their intuition. And we also have the Moon again over here. So the Moon is being very, very highlighted. Full moons can be something very significant for your connection. Either you guys had the first connection, something meaningful during a full moon. And there is also, if you're watching it when I'm posting the video, then there is a full moon on 15th and 16th of April. That can be a significant time because it's happening in Libra. That is the zodiac for relationships and connections of all types, but since we're talking in a love situation here, it is more mentioning your connection with this person here, right? So that is possible there. So it's kind of like if you make the initiative, it is still going to be that they have these fears in the background and they don't want to inflict any of it on you, okay? Yeah, I really feel as though there are just a lot of mental blocks and it is bound to be cleared. Okay, it's just a matter of working through them. Pile 1. Next steps, pile 1's persons, next steps towards pile 1. One more. Let's see. So we have Lilith, which is raw, primal, subconscious, and repressions. Yes, the moon rules all these subconscious and the unconscious hidden sides of things, the very inner thoughts and emotions, mainly emotions, because it relates with water. And we also have Elder of Cups here and Six of Cups going on there. So something related with emotional stability they are trying to tackle using their logic, okay? And I'm laughing because when they pierce through it and they see things with such a blinding clarity, it's all just going to feel so natural, and it's just going to be like, why was I not here the whole time? You know, it's just going to restore such a calm and peace and balance within them and your connection that when you look back, it's just going to be, okay, you know what, I was just being ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Why would I think that much? Why would I worry that much? You know, it's so simple, really, when I think about it, right? And we have 9s over here as well, so some cycle coming to an end. We have 15 repeated twice, so taking some type of initiation to make some major changes for the future. There is a strong incentive for sure, because there's a lot they don't want in themselves, in their own lives, and there's a lot they want to seek. So in order to seek the future and to realize the future that they wish to create, there needs to be some heavyweights that need to go. Okay, we have North Node as well, which is absolutely in line with what I was talking about. Life mission, hidden talents, and destination. So this hidden talents is kind of telling me that they're needing to look in the shadows and they're kind of trying to figure out or find themselves in a very different way. It's a whole other level, right? So the hidden nature that they have, the inner desire they have of committing, let's say, of wanting a stability with someone who is stable, balanced, reliable, so on and so forth, that is coming out. Their needs, their inner desires are starting to express themselves more as they go through this process. And everything that is not allowing you guys to unite in the 3D is just a pointer towards what needs to be worked on next. Okay? So there is a mission here. There is some type of striving towards something. The Capricorn and the Earth energy as well. It's like climbing through difficult waters or tackling challenges and obstacles. Even the Chariot here, you know, tackling things and moving forward, barging forward and cutting through all the BS. Allowing that blinding clarity to come through and sink into the deepest recesses of both of your beings. And that is going to bring so much clarity of this relationship that you have here. They feel very nurturing towards you. They would like to be able to take care of you. It can be in a material sense, but it can also be in different areas. Just say material because so many pentacles, first of all, and with the coin purse, and pentacles relate with finances and career and stability, home, all of that. Yes, really. So I don't feel as though their goal is unclear. It's just there are too many blocks, at least in their mind. It feels like too much to keep moving forward at the moment. Okay. There are hurdles. I don't think they're going to be passive for a long time. Like I said, it's going to be a slow thing, not everyone's cup of tea. So it's up to you what you do with this information, of course, but that's simply where they are in their life right now. The intention is to regain balance, and there's a lot of nudges that will come along the way in their journey that are going to take them there. We have ace here, which is 1, 1, 1, and there was something else I was seeing as well, I think. No, okay, so 2 9s, 1 11, 2 4s, 15, 15, we have 2 2, 18, 18, so that adds up to 9 and 9 again. So some type of cycle coming, kind of like things needing, tying up loose ends, putting the finishing touches, taking final pieces of advice in order to create that breakthrough. It's kind of like meaningful personal development is just as at the brink, if only you would just push one step further. It's so there, I feel. And we also have one other 9 here. So 9s are significant. Maybe search about it. You might find some more interesting advice or messages that might resonate with you based on, whatever you search, whatever you find, take as it comes. All right, we have harvest, 3rd quarter. What else do we have? Next actions. Next action. Reaping what you sow. That's definitely there. So if there have been more fears and insecurities, then that is going to come up to the surface so much that it is not able to remain in the shadows anymore. You can't ignore it anymore. It just has to come. It needs to be worked on, and things need to regain their balance, as is the nature of the universe. Okay. Then we have grow, which is 1st quarter. And we also have dream. Yeah, there's definitely some passivity happening here with the 4 of Swords, but at the same time, they're dreaming of what could be, of some ideal reality that can be, and then kind of absorbing into their own mind that maybe, hey, it might be possible if I would just do the work, or if this is what is stopping me, then fine, I will work on it. That push, that resolution that is needed to keep them moving forward or start moving forward in this direction. That is what is happening next. I feel as though there is some spiritual intervention happening here, especially with so many of these intuitive cards happening, going on here. It can be a spiritual connection you guys share, or again, their guides, your guides, kind of working behind the scenes and making certain things happen. With so many of these moon cards, I would say that the future is a little bit uncertain as to how your connection is going to grow, but it's quite clear that this person is going to want to keep moving forward. That's their wish. Again, it depends on you as well as to how far this relationship continues and how patient you're willing to be, and so on. But regardless, the need for growth is very high over here relating to this person. There can be some give and take and lesson learning that needs to happen between the two of you as well. So it can be a mutual lesson learning that's going on here. So just keep on it, because breakthrough is like bound to happen. I feel you will harvest whatever it is you sow and grow. So it's up to you what you want to grow now, right? Yeah. As and when things are coming into their awareness, they're also deciding which way they want to put their efforts next. So I feel as though it is one step at a time, not looking very far ahead, and just working on healing and finding their own balance and footing. And once that happens, there is nothing stopping them from moving towards you. Okay. What else do we? Yes. What's going to happen next? Let's see how this is going to proceed. How are things going to proceed for pile 1 with this person? No more. Okay. So we have destiny. What? Come on. Come on. Come on. Give me more. It's not in the stars. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Taking matters into your own hands, taking accountability. And the more you guys do this, the more you just keep coming closer, because this whole situation is just so destined. Then we have love at first sight and proud spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew. Yeah, it just seems like whenever this connection moves forward, it is just going to be very destined. It's just going to work out, you know, like it can be like you went shopping and they just somehow are in the same store, and you know, what are you going to do? Like run away? It's awkward, right? So it can be that you fall in love again. It's a whole new chapter. That's, of course, again, if you're willing to wait for this person, but you don't have to. There's nothing you owe to anyone. But yeah, there's a lot of love and destiny, spiritual connection for sure. And we have a butterfly there, so a lot of metamorphosis needs to happen in order for this to work out, of course. The love at first sight thing that I was talking about. This is divinely guided. Interventions are happening here, and everyone needs to be ready. Like, it's divine timing does not mean, you know, on May 15th, blah, blah, blah. Right, it's not about a set time, but instead it's like when they are ready, when you are ready, when the situation is perfect, everything is going to align and make it a reality, right? That's the timing. And each person, given that we have to respect free will here, everyone has their own process, right? And we need to respect that. Okay, and we also have choices, illumination, and knowledge. White are the flowers of apple tree that brings us fruits of fertility. I don't really get that quote. Really, if you get it, let me know. But regardless, there are going to be some new choices that need to be made, of course, moving forward. What are you willing to grow now? Your past supports your future, which means there is a type of conjunction at this time where it's like, okay, so far this is what I've been doing and it has brought me here. So what do I need to do now in order for the future to shape differently, to follow a different trend? Right? Taking matters into your own hands again, so new choices coming up, new awareness coming, and that blinding light that I was talking about with the sword suit. Whew, okay, a lot of realizations and definitely very productive, some work needing to be done. If you're already balanced and secure and stable and so on, then this can be seriously just pointing towards them and their needs. And again, they can be perfectly secure and stable on the surface and still not feel like it within. So that's something that they need to work on in order for the connection to move forward, right? And if you as well need to work on some of these issues, then this goes for you as well. Again, it's a very simultaneous movement where both of you are kind of learning from each other in some regard, even if you're not in communication at this time. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope this helped. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box in the comment below. And if you want to check out any of my other readings, there are plenty there on my channel, so you can check whatever you want, whenever you want. Until next time, take care. Bye. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's see what next actions your person is going to take towards you. Let's get some oracle cards, then we'll move on to the tarot. Pile 2 viewers, please. Next actions that people are going to take towards them. Pile 2. Okay. Choose who you are becoming. Number 7. Okay. Then we have welcome the divine masculine. I was going to say that because you chose the tiger's eye, and that's a very masculine sign, masculine crystal. It balances the divine masculine qualities that we all have within us. So I was really feeling that. Let's see more. I also have another intuition, but I just want to, fall in love with your own story. And we have manifesting and doing. Yeah, this is my second intuition. First of all, this is a very balanced way of looking at things. There is the divine feminine portion of things, like doing the background hidden work, or like intuitive actions and flowing with things, understanding the subtle cues of nature, things like that. So manifesting is basically playing with the frequencies, the fabric of our universe. That's how that comes across. But there's also doing, which is more proactive. It is the solar plexus, doing tangible efforts, being steady, making step-by-step approaches, right? So I feel as though they are going to choose a path where they are true to themselves and also have a story with you, okay? And they're thinking that it is in the same direction. Basically, they want to take steps towards you, but not in a way that is deceptive, not in any way that defeats themselves, okay? They are willing to stay in their own sense of self-worth and respect, and also be in a relationship or be with you in some form. We have you are light. So it feels like you bring in this new awareness, or you show them different perspectives, different ways of seeing the world, and making more active choices. You could be someone who's quite spiritual, so you are more aware of many different concepts related to the manifestation portion of things. So it is kind of balancing these two different things. Being proactive, but also knowing when to hang back. Being in control, but also surrendering control. Having expectations of blessings, but releasing the expectations which lead to pressure or any toxicity. Right? There's so much of that coming up. Uniting the two different, which seems polar, the masculine and feminine, but combining them, it leads to that yin and yang, the harmonious motion of these two opposing forces. That's when the magic happens. That's when creation happens. So you are light is kind of making me feel like they're determined to create something meaningful and tangible with you. It's not just enough to fantasize or imagine or do the subtle work, but it's also important to move forward, have the courage to express things outwardly. And I feel like you inspire them, so they're feeling this, all of these different things of making different choices and laying down the foundation for what kind of future they wish or envision for both of you. All of this is happening because they are inspired by you. Okay, perhaps you are more in control of your life and where you're headed. Perhaps your goals and visions are very clear to you, what you aspire to be, and so on. And that can as well act as the inspiration that this person needs to get their life in order as well, and appreciate the journey as and when you progress. Because fall in love with your own story is loving even the slow bits and liking the lows and the heights, right? The whole ebb and the flow is what makes life a wonderful story, isn't it? Okay. Pile 2's person's next actions towards pile 2. We have the Queen of Swords first. Yeah. They're wanting to take control, be very clear of those hopes, visions, and aspirations. What are they seeing for the future? And how can they get there? Strategizing, thinking ahead, looking into the future. Yeah, with the Three of Wands, this is manifesting something beautiful, something wonderful, a dream of theirs into fruition. Kind of seeing that, the future is yet to be written, and how can I make it my own? Right? How can I make it to my wish? The Wands are again very masculine, swords are as well, but the Wands is that fiery masculine part, which is passionate and driven and full of warmth, okay? Meanwhile, the swords is the intellectual part, which is logic and reasoning. So it's not one or the other, rather than using that passion and also that intelligent thinking to move ahead within your relationship here. Queen of Swords is also getting like a good look at things without getting too emotional or attached. So maintaining an objective perspective can help you understand a bigger goal much clearer, right? Many times when we are in a difficult situation in life, we're always like, why is this happening to me? Why is this not working out, right? We make it very personal. But when we are meditating, we attempt to reach a state of objectivity where we can see our situation from a little bit of a distance, and it becomes very clear that if only we go through the situation, we will learn patience, or we will learn the true meaning of letting go, or we will understand what skills we have learned because of the delays that have happened or the blocks we've had to overcome. What did the challenges teach you? All of these things become very clear when you maintain that objective stance. So that's a type of feeling I'm getting here with the Queen of Swords. Okay, they're getting a good look at things, which makes the picture for the future much clearer for them. Okay, and that way they're able to manifest much easier, much faster. Okay, let's see more. What are Pile 2's person's next steps towards Pile 2? Yes, we have that wishing and wanting, manifesting with the star again. Hopes, visions, goals, a lot of Aquarius energy. We have 6 of Cups as well, so something of the past. Making different choices, learning from the past, taking the lessons, and just trying to shape a different future. Seeing the trend and envisioning a different tomorrow as well. Okay, you guys could have had a relationship before. This can also point to being an ex. Or childhood friends, someone with a lot of memories with you, some sort of nostalgia that is there. So you have definitely shared some connection before. Or they reflect on the times that you have spent together, even if you have not been together. And they envision a very wonderful tomorrow for the two of you. A companionship, they wish for loyalty, kind of a very strong, warm, loving bond, which also respects each other's independence. Okay, because Aquarius likes to have their own space, because through that they're able to think much clearer. Okay, meditation is as well taking a bit of space, and if someone keeps yapping while you're meditating, it gets annoying, right? So you need that little bit of that space in order to think and understand things clearly. And once you do that, you put things in action. You envision things, you make it happen. Okay, what else? There's a wishing and a wanting. They can be looking up to you as well. Again, you come across more knowledgeable or spiritually connected. Okay, like you might have some very serendipitous events that happen in your lives, more synchronicities you're able to observe and learn and flow with those things. So they wish to learn all of that from you, and they admire that about you as well. Okay. Wishing, wanting, manifesting. Okay, what else do we have? Pile 2's person. Yes, we have the Justice, balancing things out. Again, the yin and the yang keeps coming up here. I don't know why. But noticing the shadows and the light. Shedding light onto the shadows, past karmic influences. Melting those things away, balancing things out and making a certain change. We have the Tower here as well. So breaking down of karmic influences, okay, cutting ties with karmic understandings and realities, meaning when you act from, when a pattern is very repetitive and it has a very intense influence on each other, then I would associate that as karmic. Okay, so there is something to be returned, something to be balanced. So it can be that both of you get really angry at each other, perhaps, just an example, but let's say both of you get really angry and you bring out the dormant anger that you would normally suppress to the surface, and once it's out on the surface, you need to work on those things because it's hard to just ignore problems, especially with karmic partners. But this is also talking about that being in the past and changing those karmic patterns for the betterment of the relationship. And again, depending on wherever you are in this journey with this person, this is the trend that is following here as the next actions and steps here. A lot of groundbreaking changes. Okay, let's see. Queen of Swords. Let's clarify that, please, for pile 2. Queen of Swords. Yes. What do we have? We have the Tower again. So some epiphany, that realization. The Tower is talking about realizations, about what was unstable, what was not supporting a long-lasting growth. So it can come in a surprising manner, or it just lands on your mind, and now it is up to you how you're going to deal with things. But it is very hard to ignore, because it's like a lightning strike. It's bolt of thunder and bolt of lightning, sorry. And the swords is about air, the clouds, and the atmosphere, right? So there's, and it relates to the mind. New awareness coming up here. It can also be a communication as well. But it is coming in a very unexpected yet mature way. Okay, 3 of Wands. Let's clarify that. 3 of Wands can also talk about some news coming around. Okay, something they've always wanted to say. 3 of Wands. Let's clarify that. Yes, we have 9 of Swords. So moving away from limiting influences, not letting paranoia and anxiety or fear or insecurities hold them back, but looking towards the horizon, looking at what else is possible. Fear is an illusion, understanding that, and just if the entire reality is illusory, then which illusion would you prefer? Right, so not letting anxiety get the better of them, instead allowing for them to be more hopeful, more optimistic. I'm sorry, some cards fell. What do we have for the Star? Star. And 2. Yes, we have 7 of Wands. Yeah, putting you up on a pedestal. That can be something that they do, and that could have led to a lot of anxieties and fears. It's not anything to do with you, it's just their inner world that they needed to get into grips with. 6 of Cups. Okay. Let's clarify the 6 of Cups. Finding 2. Yeah, we have 2 of Cups. So they wish to have a very strong union and harmony by clarifying things of the past if you've had a past, and consolidating them and unifying your qualities in order to form a very harmonious relationship. In the bottom here we have the Lovers. Okay, so they think of you as a soulmate, and if things had not worked out, it's because of, certain things just needed to work themselves out individually before you guys could be together. Okay, we have the Justice. Let's clarify that. Let's clarify the Justice. Okay, we have the Star. Yeah, wishing for the best, balancing things, working things out in divine timing. Seeing the blessings in the situation, in everything that has happened so far. Wishing for a sort of, again, another union. The Justice can be a very contractual relationship, so a registered partner, for example, or it can also talk about at some point making the union official, i.e. marriage. But I'm not seeing 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, so it's not really about the married life, but rather this can be something long-lasting. They wish for it to be long-lasting. They're at that stage right now. Okay, the Tower. Let's clarify that. What is this breakthrough? What is this change? What's the Tower talking about? The pile 2, please. Next steps that pile 2's person will take towards pile 2. Okay, we have 4 of Swords. Yeah, there's healing and resolution of the past. Let's get one more. I want one more card, please. Wow, the Justice came out. So again, removal of karmic situations and imbalances. The yin and the yang imagery is here. Nice. So the work that has been done already, the work that has been triggered out of both of you, that is coming into calmer waters, that is being cleared out in order to make way for something more calm, restful, healing, for both of you, for both of your bliss. Okay, let's get some astrology cards. Pile 2 viewers. Some intense stuff going on here, but a lot of clarification. If something was unclear about the past for you, then this is that coming around and clearing things out and allowing for a very peaceful resolution between the two of you. And whatever this communication is, it is going to come around quite unexpectedly. Very respectful, very mature. There's a lot of wishing and wanting, you know. Yeah, I can't, yeah. And we have Tower twice, Star twice. There's hope after a chaotic past. Perhaps you're discovering more order within chaos. That's what the cleansing of the karmic cycle. Ooh. Okay, we have Taurus, yes, finding more stability, more groundedness, more balance, and security in your relationship. We also have 6th house, finding, again, for some reason I thought of harmony. So, harmonizing the imbalances, finding more work, taking care of your health, yes, work-life balance, that's what I was thinking. Your health, mental, emotional, also psychological, spiritual, physical. I was getting something else. Being more driven as well. Taking things into your own hands, being more independent, being in charge of your own possessions, things that are valuable to you, being in charge of them, on top of them. Stuff like that. There's a lot about self-respect and esteem and ownership, accountability, these type of topics coming up here. So any past mistakes that were made, that is going to be cleared out as well. Apologies can come through if that's something that's needed to mend the situation, but some type of mending is definitely happening here. With the Taurus being, you know, a fixed earth sign, it can be like slow to change, right? But when something is not working and it just keeps going on very stubbornly, it needs to break down. The only way to break through for fixed signs is like break down, especially when it's such a steady sign like the Taurus. Yeah, it's hard to, you know, begin change, but once it's in motion, the momentum just keeps carrying on, right? So meaningful change takes time. Okay. Yes, we got 3 cards there. So we have 4th house, 8th house, and Venus. Love, beauty, art, harmony, and relationship. So changing family relationships for the better, transforming the close relationships for the betterment, improving the psychological understandings, working on inner limitations and the shadowy aspects, finding more stability with the 4th house being at the very bottom, understanding their inner self a lot more. Self-love is as well something very necessary for a healthy, harmonious relationship. So that's something they could have been working on, and that is what is essential for their health as well. And as they are done with that, they develop a healthier viewpoint of relationships and how they play a part in which way it goes. Again, they're taking more accountability, changing their perspective on things. Okay, I want to see what's at the bottom of these cards because I did not. We have the Hangman here, and we have we have the Hangman twice. Yeah, so looking at things from a different perspective, showing themselves a very different viewpoint here, which clears things up, that objectivity, that taking some time to understand the situation from a different viewpoint, that's very highlighted in this reading, and that changing the attitude towards the relationships and how they want to conduct themselves moving forward. Okay? A very long, hard look at things in order to break out of karmic influences and patterns. That's next. Wow. Okay, so let's get some moon cards here. What are pile 2's person's next steps towards pile 2? again, take this as a, this is a general read, so it depends where you are in this journey with this person, but this is how the story is unfolding for you guys so far. We have complete with the full moon, which is, again, completing a cycle, releasing old patterns, the emotions being on the surface such that it is hard to ignore. Can be a bit of an overwhelming feeling as well, so the overwhelming thoughts that we were talking about, that being released. We have moon peak with a dream, which talks about the inner intuitive voices coming out to the surface or getting signs and signals while sleeping, getting more guidance in that way. What else? Can also be a fantasy. Some of you, so they can be like thinking about you from afar. The star again being highlighted, thinking about you from afar, that's possible. Or wishing about you, wishing for union with you, coming back together, trying to manifest that into being, working on their inner issues so that they're not blocked by themselves. Yes, okay. Where is this relationship headed? What's happening here with the two, type 2 and their people? Okay, I'm taking it. We have power and healing with the trumpet gentle. Wow. Power and healing. To get what you love, you first have to be patient with what you have. Yes. We talked about that. Gaining inner power, owning your inner power, rather, not gaining, really. It's there already. It's hard to embrace it for everyone. But when you start taking accountability, you can really start discovering what else you are capable of. And definitely so much healing of karmic influences and patterns. That would be a very big theme. And yes, looking at things from a different perspective. I'm still surprised by the synchronicities here, really. The Hanged Man, the Tower, and what was that? The Star. These three are your principal cards. Wow. And also justice. I did not mention justice. So 11, 12, 16, and 17. Awesome. Okay, so where is this headed next? Okay, we have devotion and dreams fulfilled. So if the manifestations are already in place, then again, whatever is blocking you guys from being together, that is being cleared out. And the dreams are basically starting to come true in a tangible sense. Devotion, again, testing that patience, okay? Like, is this something you want for the long term? Something that is not sustainable or does not have a future vision is not going to hold up the charm. They're looking for something stable, it looks like, something more long-lasting they can build a home with, that they can share their inner child with as well, so it's a hard revelation to really accept for some people, that's what they're looking for. But once you realize it, you can't unknow it, and you cannot go backward in your evolution, really. So there's a lot of devotion coming up here. Whatever they decide to build with you, whatever this wishing and wanting is of union, of harmony, that is something long-term, okay? All the instability is being put to an end. Okay. And we have domestic happiness and devoted affection again. Oh, wow. Okay, so, I do not see the 10 of Pentacles or Cups, but there is definitely an intention of taking this towards marriage, okay? I don't want to use any other word. Yeah. Domestic happiness and devoted affection. Wow, this is so serious. It's nice. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 2. Can't stop smiling. I wish you all the very best. Do let me know your thoughts. And if you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box in the comment below. If you want to check out any of my other videos, they're all there on my channel. Plenty of different genres, so you can pick whatever you want, whenever you want. Until next time, take care. Bye. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. We're going to see what your person's next actions towards you are going to be. So let's shuffle. Pile 3 viewers, their person's next actions towards Pile 3. What are their next steps towards... Okay, I'll take this one. We have You Are Living Poetry. That's the first card. Let's get some more. Pile 3. Wow, that's a lot. We'll take all of them. I was planning to shuffle for 3. We'll also look at the base. Okay, we have Limitations, Inspire Innovations, and we have Celebrate Your Wins. We have Your Past Supports Your Future. I feel a little bit jittery. I had a lot of coffee. Okay, so we also have Befriend the Word, Polarize. Okay, and at the very bottom, what do we have? Success and Transformation. That's wonderful. Where do I begin? We also have Follow Through, 32, 23. Okay, and we have 11 over there. So I would say new beginnings are coming up. Getting ready to accept your differences with this person, and kind of not wishing for the same in the partners that you guys choose, but rather also looking at what is more balancing for both of you. So I feel as though there is some new information coming to light, or it already has, and it's basically just sinking in, which is going to allow you to begin a future. Whatever relation, and I feel like you have some sort of past, whether you were in a relationship before or you were friends before, whatever it is, there is some type of past over here. Can also be talking about like a month back or something. But whatever the connection was, it had an intense effect on both of you, and it instigated some changes that needed to be made. There were some restrictions in the past, and things were not able to work out as planned, or as hoped, rather. But the connection was too strong to ignore. You might be polar opposites in certain ways, and that could have created some differences. But instead of looking at it like, oh, that's the complete opposite of me and how can we gel, instead of seeing it as an opposition, I feel the attitude has now shifted to the opposite is balancing. It's complementary. You can't have light without dark, and you can't have dark without light. It's the presence of both that gives you that contrasting information that tells you more about you when you know what is not you, right? I feel as though that is talking about the first house and the seventh house. If I look at it astrologically, the first house is about you, your attitudes, how you see the world, how you see others, and so on. It's all about you. And in the seventh house, it is the qualities that you would not automatically relate yourself with, but it is the qualities that others see in you. So it's sort of, I don't see that when I see in my mirror. I don't see myself as grounded or very balanced or whatever. But other people see me as solid and stable and reliable and all of those things. So it gives you a different perspective. That's what I'm feeling here, that this person is starting to understand. It's not about opposition. It's not about the resistance. It's the new awakening, right? And that awakening is making them appreciative of the relationship you have had in the past. And it could be you as well going through a similar journey, but we're reading about this person here. So that has caused a lot of shifts and changes in attitude and their own perception of the world, of relationships, of themselves and their place in the collective. And they're thankful for the limitations and restrictions at that time, and they appreciate that it was not the right time for good reason. If not for that, though, no changes could have been made, and if not for that time, those changes would not have sunk in. New beginnings are coming up, in short, okay? Your living poetry can be an email, a text, some method, some way to show their appreciation that's coming up. Celebrate your wins is, to me, talking about all the things that they have conquered so far through your connection, through you, through your inspiration, the new light that you have shown, kind of how that has raised this person into a much better version of themselves. That's what they're wanting to express. A lot of inner work has taken place here as well. Okay, I'm so curious to know more. It sounds very deep. Pile 3. Pile 3 is person's actions towards pile 3. Okay, we have 2 of Swords. What else do we have? We'll clarify each of these cards, by the way. Pile 3. 3. Okay. This. And one more. Let's do one more. Pile 3's person's next actions towards pile 3. Great, so next we have the Judgment. Yes, realizations, new epiphany, awakening rather. It's not an epiphany because epiphany is going to come very suddenly without any instigation, but the Judgment is sort of a soul seeking, the soul coming through. It's a very subtle voice, but it is an awareness that you cannot ignore. And given that the first card we have here is 2 of Swords, which talks about mental confusion, it is the liberation from confusion, from opposing thoughts. This, in another viewpoint, would be the angel and the devil, right? You have 2 different voices which give you very different opinions or viewpoints and, opinions, and you don't know which way to go, which way to choose, what to do now, right? So you feel a mental anguish that does not translate into any productive forward movement. Meanwhile, the Judgment is going towards that higher purpose, that higher truth, which you know to be true even though you cannot explain in very clear, definite terms because it's something abstract and yet extremely prevalent in yourself. So they know the truth. There is some sort of truth. Then we have the Empress. The Empress is appreciating the abundance, appreciating the wealth of knowledge and awareness and beauty and everything to be grateful for, I feel. They're being very grateful, very thankful, moving towards things that they are being called to do. And we have 6 of Pentacles, coming into a lot more balance. Again, this can be an exchange of something, so I feel like they might, text you or something, might reach out in some way, whichever way is possible for your situation. But there is like an equal give and take going on here. And we have 9 of Swords. Yeah, that mental anguish that I was feeling, that is being repeated over here. So these are things that they had to, I feel as though whatever these limitations and situation was in the past was very reflective of their inner world. So they had to do a lot of work and they're finding liberation. Okay, 2 of Swords, let's clarify this so we get more information. So far it's been very abstract and conceptual. I don't know what the physical actions would look like. Okay, let's go. 2 of Swords. Yes, we have 8 of Swords. Yeah, exactly. Self-imposed limitations, overthinking things. Just asking the questions that are not relevant to a certain situation is basically overthinking stuff, driving yourself mentally crazy and blocking your own mind. And once you do that, you're also not using your heart, and then it just leads to a personal detriment and you can't even listen to your soul's voice anymore. So self-fulfilling prophecy of nothing moves forward, or I can't do it, just helplessness, victim mentality. All of those things could have been very prevalent before. Okay, Judgment. Let's see what Judgment is. What will be pile 3's person's next steps towards pile 3? Let's clarify the Judgment. And by the way, if this is something like if you have recently separated and these realizations are more recent, then this is the journey that they're going to go on. Okay, so it depends where you are in this relationship. as to where it is going to go. Okay, Judgment. Let's go. Clarify pile 3. Yes, I was expecting 2 cards really. We have 5 of Swords. This is defeat, loss, again, mental anguish, like driving yourself crazy, having competing thoughts, don't know what to think. And we have the Temperance, so balancing the mind coming up, being more patient with themselves, learning moderation, finding the middle ground. And again, with the Temperance, there are like 2 extremes over here, right? This is ice, this is fire. And in the middle, we have smoke, or steam rather. So when you mix things, it's a different element. It's a whole other alchemy going on there. Okay, so finding the middle ground, being more patient, taking their own time, following divine timing. Those are some things that they're doing right now. We have the Empress. Let's clarify that. So I feel like so far that they are going to reach out to you and let you know everything, and they're kind of leaving things without expectations. There's no strings attached, and it's just something that they wanted to say. So far, that's what I'm feeling here. Some message to deliver of appreciation, adoration. Let's clarify the Empress and see what else we get. Yes, we have the 4 of Wands. So they're taking you seriously, they don't want to be messing around, and they don't want to self-sabotage. Yeah, I feel like they have increased their own sense of self-respect, which is allowing them to respect you and others more as well. More compassion and more empathy is as well developing, higher level of intuition, not letting the mind block the way of the heart or the spirit, which is allowing them to again be more stable and reliable for you, for others, just being a supportive structure who can understand many different concepts like emotions and also the mental realm. 4 of Wands is talking about that stability, more solidity, something to celebrate. So they've come very far, they are feeling very good about themselves, and it feels as though now I'm ready to date or something like that. I'm ready to do something more long lasting. I don't want temporary bliss of any type. Okay, 6 of Pentacles, let's clarify. And that's why they're not pushing anything. I guess they're just feeling in a very secure state. And I would say that that's the perfect way to start any long-lasting relationship, right? When you've balanced yourself and so is the other person, and you have a very solid and balanced ground on which you can, start to grow your relationship. Okay, let's see. 6 of Pentacles. Clarify the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Hermit. Yeah, exactly. So introspection, thinking about things and what to say, expressing individuality, explaining self-worth. Yes, we have that expression card here with the Sun. So that illumination that comes from within, the new awareness, it can be that which they're trying to share with you. The need to understand the self and appreciate the self before giving to someone else. That's a balance that they are reaching. And in order for that to happen, you as well need to do the same, because 6 of Pentacles is like give and take, right? So again, depending where you are in your timeline. And it also says your past supports your future. So the inner work that they have done in the past, if the separation has already existed for a while, then the inner work that they have done, or the things that they have taught to themselves, that is paving the way for a more balanced relationship, better give and take between you and this person. And also it is under 11, and that is, like I said, a time of new initiative. Okay, 9 of Swords, let's clarify that. Yes, we have Ace of Swords. See, the clarity just cuts through all of that mental anguish. There's no point of overthinking something that is so clear, isn't it? Ace of Swords is epiphany. I had used that word, the Judgment, but I was wrong there. But really, like getting new blinding light of awareness that you cannot deny as the truth. You just know it. We have Explorer of Swords. And we have 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. in the bottom of these cards. So 8 of Pentacles is again, whatever work needs to be done, it will be done. Okay? If it takes time, let it take time. It's worth it. What is worth the dedication? What is worth being organized and planned and making the little steps that are needed? But that being clarified with the Explorer of Swords, I don't feel like it is going to go really slowly to the point where, you know, it's going to take years or something, because there is a lot of focus now moving forward. Okay, like the target is very clear. It's like wired. Let's go. Let's do it. It's very high energy here. So the work that they're wanting to do in order to restore balance and a compatible partnership, they will do the work. Okay, whatever they can do, whatever they are in control of, they are going to do. Things beyond the control, we'll see how to dodge that or work around that as and when the situation comes around. There is a lot of forward movement here, and they're doing what feels right, and they are determined to do something that feels right. If something doesn't make sense, if it becomes more toxic at any point with anyone, in whatever relationship, that's something that they're not going to entertain anymore. This is what I'm feeling, like a lot more self-awareness and respect has come towards them, and that allows them to appreciate the good in others. It allows them to respect others, their efforts, their time, their energy as well. So if you have put a lot in this relationship, if you've worked on yourself as and when the relationship was existent, and you did your part as well, then this is just talking about how it is going to be reciprocated this time, and in a very diligent and very truthful manner as well. So whatever gestures they make, the things that they say, it's not to butter you up in any way, they really mean it. Okay, so whenever this text comes, or in whatever way they reach out, you happen to cross paths again, this is just them very truthfully and authentically expressing themselves to you. Okay, I'm sorry, I would try to be a little lighter when I speak, but this is just very serious, it's grounded, and it's very meaningful as well. Okay, so yeah, it's very nice, very nice. Okay, I'm surprised by the level of authenticity, or the truth of it here. It's wow. All right, pile 3 viewers, what will their people do next? What are their next actions towards pile 3? Okay, we have Uranus, which is rebel, reform, unpredictable, and eccentric. Okay, then what's coming out here? We have IC, which is private self, home life, and childhood. And I think it could be childhood friends in some cases. Okay, we'll take that one. What do we have? We have Neptune, which is dreams, intuition, mysticism, imagination, and illusions. Okay. Yeah, this is that higher awareness, and also Uranus, it's the planet of awakening. Uranus would rule the epiphanies, and Neptune would rule the judgment or new awareness that comes in, or high priestess, things like that, where intuition is very heightened. So again, that's that feeling of, I'm going to do what speaks very truly to me. I'm not trying to make everyone happy because it's not fair to me, and I will be the only one who holds resentments, and then I will project it on others. So by developing a healthy sense of esteem, they are working on not projecting their inner fears or insecurities onto other people. Instead, taking ownership, working on them to balance themselves, making time for themselves whenever they feel any conflict, and working it out. Okay? Not giving up, not putting in denial, not living in the victim mentality, taking more ownership and just moving forward in whatever direction presents itself or feels right in that moment. That's why really I'm astounded by the health of this whole thing. Like, they're texting, but they're not expecting anything back. They're very open, okay? They're very open, but there's no pressure. The expectations can lead to pressure, and that's where we become all sorrowful and stuff, right? Yeah, wow. Okay, pile 3's person's next actions towards pile 3. We have ready with moonset. Okay, ready. Anything else? So that is again ready to move forward. Okay, I've done my thinking, I've done my dreaming, I'm done with my intuition and inner work. Let's go. Let's go out into the real world and create some meaningful changes internally and externally. Whatever needs to happen, hope it happens. And knowing that it is for the best of both of you, right? Hence the no expectations. We have complete with the full moon, so this is talking about fulfillment. Also being very clear about emotions, right? Being on board with the inner workings of the heart. Yes, okay. So where is this headed for pile 3? Where is this headed? What do we have? Destiny. Wow. Wow. Amazing. It's not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. That's William Shakespeare. So it's kind of like you yourself are shaping destiny a lot. Of course, there is that divine timing going on here, but the work that you do really affects how things are going to shape in the future. That's why it's not like, oh, well, it's not in my fate to have a long-term relationship or whatever, but instead, because that would be stepping into the victim mindset, which they are coming out of. Instead, they're like, well, I'm going to do what I can, right? That is taking charge of your own destiny. That's what I'm getting there. And deciding, according to what feels really right, which way to move forward or how. And we have youthful love, so some type of renewal, as I kept talking about earlier. Yeah, the quote here is, if I had a single flower for every time I think of you, I could walk forever in my garden. So they definitely think of you and perhaps think a lot and then overthink and drive themselves a little bit crazy and not know how to act or how to feel anymore, right? That could have been a thing that caused a separation. But now it is that return of, I don't know what might happen, but I'm willing to take a chance. And because I still think about this person and I feel as though it can lead to something more long-term and long-lasting, I'm willing to see it through. I'm willing to play my role and my part in getting things there. So making certain changes, fine, done, transformation, let's go. Once the transformation is complete, I'm ready to move forward. And they're just hoping that, you are as well interested. But again, they're not going with that heavy expectation that you must otherwise. There's no pain and lingering toxicities of the past in any way. We also have gratitude. Yeah, that expressing the gratitude, the thankfulness to you. So gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. This perfectly sums up what I was saying, really perfectly. That's what I was trying to get at. Wow, this is very rich, very meaningful and abundant. I wish you all the very best for this. And it can come out in a very unexpected way as well, when you're least thinking about them or you don't even expect them to be around in that area or something. That's when it can come through. Yeah. If you're watching this when I'm posting it, then there is an eclipse happening on April 30th. That can be something that instigates this change. Wow, this is exciting. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box in the comment below. Feel free to check out any of my other videos. There are plenty there on my channel, so you can see whatever you want, whenever you want. Until next time, take care. Bye. Hi Pile 4, welcome to your reading. You chose the Sunstone over here. Let's see what the next actions of your person towards you is going to be. Pile 4 viewers, their person's next actions, please. Let's see. I'm gonna put the crystal here, it's easier to focus. Okay, Pile 4 viewers, the people's actions towards Pile 4. Let's see. Okay. So first we have creator air. Okay. Can be dealing with Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. We have bliss is worth creating from. We have bravely market your magic. And we have you are light. Okay. And at the bottom, what do we have? The now. Okay. Some type of communication with the air over there. Can be talking. Yeah, so you can receive some type of communication again in a couple of weeks. No, yeah, like about a month or so. Yeah, that can be for some of you, but don't know, I just got that, so I had to pause for it. There is a lot of expression of, I'm getting the feel that for some of you this is like a newer connection, and it's kind of you're getting to know more about each other. So with the bravely market your magic, I'm getting a flaunt style. Okay, bragging about some type of achievement or being proud about something accomplished, and kind of best selling your qualities that you're happy with. So trying to impress, flirting, that type of vibe is what I'm getting. You are light, like giving a lot of compliments and just having fun in the now. Bliss is worth creating from, so doing things that are joyful, that make both of your hearts happy. Yeah, it just seems very light and airy, really. Really. Okay, let's get some more clues. Pile 4 is person's next action towards pile 4. We'll get some more cards, and then pile 4 is person's next actions towards pile 4. No. These two. And what else? Yes, thank you. Let's see what we have. First card we got is the World. So traveling, for some of you, traveling. That can be like a short trip, or you go somewhere like a little bit away from the city or wherever you stay. Again, such specific information. I was not getting this with the rest of the piles. Completing a sort of cycle and transcending past problems and coming out of it much stronger, more knowledgeable, more aware, discussing the thing and getting a closure of certain past fights perhaps, or arguments or something that caused any confusion, just wrapping things up. And this can also talk about like one stage of the relationship is getting over and it's time to move on to the next cycle of learning, right? Like after the dating you become exclusive and so on, right? Then you develop further and further. So I feel as though some type of cycle is being completed and a new one is beginning. We have 7 of Pentacles next, which is like patient, persevering, not really persevering, but the dedication, devotion. Yeah, there's like, I'm willing to see it through, and it's kind of, I want to know where this goes. I'm really interested to know whether the connection we have built is strong enough to give rise to something greater. You know, being patient with it and tending things, so the movement is going to be steady, but it is present, right? It is mindful. Okay, what do we have? 10 of Swords, putting an old cycle to rest. We already talked about that. It can be a painful past as well, or leaving behind leaving behind insecurities and fears that stem from the past. So leaving the past where it should be and just focusing on the now. Not really knowing what the next steps might look like in a very solid, tangible form, but having an idea of what is it that you are seeking, right? You're looking into the light and you're looking at something optimistic. So there is a lot of hope here, but there are concrete steps being taken as to leave behind the past in the past. Okay, so that's very nice, very constructive. We have Ace of Pentacles next, which is putting the seeds for new harvest, you know, like trying again, being solid, being reliable, trying to lay down a new groundwork. So some type of tangible new beginning is coming up next. You know, they're wanting to bring you something more, offer you something substantial that has potential to turn into the Ten of Pentacles, you know. And the King of Pentacles, something you can rely on, something supportive, something solid, and like I said, meaningful and substantial. We also have Page of Swords, so some type of communication for sure. It can be something casual again, like would you like to go out sometime with me, you know, let's have a chat sometime. It sounds very informal and casual, but it is going to carry something that will have meaning for the future. But they're just taking things as it comes, one by one, and they're very patient and hopeful for the long term, right? Okay, let's clarify. Already so much information for you guys. Okay, the world, let's clarify. Fire Force person's next actions towards pile 4. What does the world talk about here? Okay, we have Justice and the Hermit. Yeah, a period of being alone or being stuck in karmic cycles that is being left behind. Gained a lot of knowledge and awareness through either the single life or past relationships, and now it is time to utilize that wisdom in a relationship that can go the distance, right? That's something here. So it can be an individual journey on both of your sides, but can also be like within the relationship you've had a lot of ups and downs, and over here it's kind of that cycle being put to rest, like enough's enough, let's get steady now, you know, let's leave behind the toxicities. Okay, Seven of Pentacles, let's clarify. What does this talk about? Yes, we have the Guardian of Swords. So being very deliberate, okay, being very clear about what the vision is, what logical steps, practical steps, you know, being taken. But because it's the Queen of Swords, there is also why is it important? Instead of just for the sake of the conquest, it also asks why is this conquest necessary, right? That's when the vision is really very clear here. The ability to move past hurdles, because you have that clarity. That's as well the Guardian of Swords or the Queen of Swords. Right underneath the Seven of Pentacles, it's again, whatever needs to be done will be done. I will hopefully see it through. I will try better. I will try harder. I will be more patient. I will be moderate with the situation. I will be dedicated and devoted. Things like that, you know. There's an active thought process and a reprogramming of the mind that has taken place. Oh, wow. Ten of Swords. Let's clarify that. They're very conscious and aware of making efforts. Okay, they really want to. Okay, let's get some more. Ten of Swords. Yes, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, and what do we have? Two of Swords. Yeah, moving away from confusion and finding more stability and solidity. Not overthinking things, leaving the overthinker, the anxious mind, the fearful mind away, and listening to the intuition and following just the nudges. You know, this feels right, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna think of, you know, the past and worry about the future and all those things that can lead to a mental block. Instead, I'm just gonna, you know, enjoy the nature when I'm in nature. I will enjoy the ground because it is what keeps me stable. I will enjoy my material values and possessions because it gives me pleasure. So I'm going to enjoy the things that are valuable to me and move away from the chapter where I bind myself in a rut in my own mind. Right? So leaving all of that behind is happening here, putting things to an end. What is the Ace of Pentacles talking about, please? Ace of Pentacles. Yes, we have Eight of Wands, a renewal of passion, A lot of activity, speed, again, dating, something fun, flirting. This is hot, passionate, sensual as well in some way. Sensual really with the Pentacles, but given that it is with the Ace of Pentacles, it's kind of a new way of introducing the passion and intimacy as well within the relationship. It's also about communication, so new ways of communicating to each other, or just if you guys are in separation, then this is, text coming up really fast that has something substantial to say. That can be like within a few days really with the Wands, but Pentacles can make it a little bit longer. So again, I'm going to stick with a couple of weeks within the month or something. Anyway. Yes, travel. Yes, that's what I was thinking. With the World as well, I said travel, right? So it can be that whatever the reason was keeping you guys apart, if you guys are like happy in communication and all of that, this can be some new news coming up where the establishment is being shifted, so you guys can be actually moving closer, and that allows for different ways of communicating. Again, you can meet each other face to face more, and you can meet each other more, you can date more, things like that, right? So it can be in that way as well. Yeah, traveling to meet, that's likely for some of you, but that only applies if you're in a long distance. Okay, Page of Swords, let's clarify. Or something that even like a career that takes a huge chunk of their time. There is more ending of the need to always hustle and come back and relax as well, make more time for things that are more meaningful. Basically in some way the distance is closing. Okay, Page of Swords is clarified. Yes, we have the Judgment. Now let's get one more. Yeah. They're getting a lot of new awareness here. This can be after your conversation as well. But they can be talking about the new awareness that they have received and how you have played a role in it as well, especially if you are spiritually inclined and have communicated with them about that. Okay, let's clarify one more. I'm going to take this one. We have Three of Wands. So yeah, moving towards a better tomorrow, something hopeful, something optimistic, and filled with future possibilities. Okay, talking about that. This sounds very awesome, honestly. Okay, I want to see the bottom of the deck. What do we have? We have the Devil, and we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, the heaviness that came from toxic karmic situations and influences of the past. The burdens are being released, and the illusion is falling away, which makes way for a new chapter, a new tomorrow, a transcendence from current limitations, and coming out of it much stronger and wiser. Yeah, okay, Knight of Wands can again talk about travel and spontaneity, dating, and Six of Pentacles is again someone reaching out. Some communication you can get. Ten of Wands, Five of Pentacles, loneliness, and we have Two of Cups. Yeah, the burdens that were keeping you people isolated, or even them isolated from you. They might have felt very lonely, or you as well, or left out in the cold. Just like I'm unable to move, I can't do things by myself, something of that nature, where the trapped feeling remains, that had been burdening. It could have been some financial or material constraints as well. And we have Two of Cups, so that is being harmonized again. That's the background process that is happening here. There is union, there is success, there is harmony and bliss, again, more hope and dating, all of those things. Amazing. Okay, let's get some more cards. Pile 4 viewers, what are their person's actions, next actions towards Pile 4? We have Leo, yes, that fun, flirting, dating. Really, I can't help but repeat a million times just that. Okay, Leo right there. You could be a Leo, they could be a Leo. And we have Aquarius, so that is an air sign. That, like I was talking about. Aquarius, and we also have IC, which is private self, home life, and childhood. Yeah, the coldness is being warmed. That's something I'm getting here. Okay. Warmth, big heart, and also Aquarius is talking about the communication as well, sharing of the mind, telepathic understanding, a deeper mental bond, but also the heart. You know, the heart and the mind being balanced and kind of feeding off each other in a very fluid way. I know we don't have the temperance, but it is giving me that temperance vibe. Things are balancing out for you guys. And we also have this private self and home, like, so it seems it like it could be some restrictions that come from home or family background, but it can also be like inner conflicts that come from your own conditioning and programming during childhood. So there could have been a lot of work that needed to be done, and as soon as that is done, there is like actually simultaneous to it. It's well, everyone's situation is different, so take it as it resonates. It can be that they're working through it, and as and when they progress in this direction, the union becomes stronger and stronger. But there is definitely some type of text message or emailing or video call, meeting, whatever, you know, some type of communication that shares or provides a base for the future, okay? Whatever that is in your situation. But it is, yeah. There's a lot of authenticity as well, because the shadows are also coming into the light, right? As they're becoming more and more aware of themselves, they hide less and less. They are comfortable being more, having their inner selves more visible. Vulnerability is getting much easier to express. I wouldn't say it's, you know, top notch, because we don't have any cups card here, but the works are there. New foundations and new mindsets are being cultivated with this as well. Maybe, you know, some of you could be like either business partners or you work together. That's possible. And because these two are the opposite signs in the zodiac, they're right across from each other in the astrology chart, it can be like polar opposite situation. Both of you are very different, so you kind of inspire the karmic situations as well as you complement each other, and it can feel very intense when you're the opposite signs of the zodiac. Okay, so maybe that's true for some of you, but there is so much awareness and knowledge and wisdom and just information that comes towards you, and things make sense. It paves the way for a much lighter, less burdened future. Okay, let's get some more. Pile Force, person's actions towards Pile 4. What do we have? We have new moon begin, yes. And we have lunar eclipse change, so begin the change, you know. A lot of changes are definitely taking place here. Internal change, and as a result, external change. Wow. Okay. There is an eclipse on April 30th, if you're watching when I'm posting this, but regardless, yeah, eclipses are a time of massive change. It can feel a little bit chaotic on the day and around those days, but it paves the way for such a new beginning. There is so much potential, and it basically takes us towards our fated paths. So they're very necessary. Okay, so where is this headed? Okay. Youthful love. Again, the flirting, dating. Again. What else? What else is coming up? Type 4. It's fun. It's fun. Okay, we have enlightenment. See that awareness? No mud, no lotus. So you learn from the past and you grow wiser. You don't carry the torture with you. That's not necessary. Okay, and we have love at first sight and proud spirit. Yeah, that braggy thing that I was getting. So it's kind of that wooing and courting and, you know, those kind of things. I want to get more. I want to get more. I'm just curious now. Okay. Force people, what are their next actions? And by the way, there are 2 butterflies here. The transformation is as well coming up again. Come on, that's stubborn. Give me more cards, please. Pile 4, please. Okay, I'm going to take this. Always joyful. I already started laughing even before I saw the card. So that's joy, fun, brightness. Yes, okay. We have victory and conquest. Yeah, that Riley again. But achievements and also the triumph over, your own personal demons, right? It's hard to, get over things and, make a very deep and meaningful change. So the fact that you can improve yourself in any way, that itself, gives you that boost of self-esteem. So I can see, I can understand. Oh yeah, I want to read this one. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still. From Lao Tzu. Yeah. We have hidden secrets. Yeah, things coming to the light here. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of expression coming around here. Things being revealed. Perhaps if you have been curbing yourself, your emotions back, suppressing in any way, then that is just going to come out here. All cards on the table. There's just a lot of truth and to this whole thing here. It's very genuine. We have grace and sweetness, some romance coming up. Okay, why am I so nosy for you guys? I really only shuffled for 3 cards in all the other piles. We have rebirth and new beginnings. Yes. Okay, that's all I'm going to get. I will stop being greedy. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 4. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and the comment below. Feel free to check out any of my other videos. There are plenty there on my channel, so pick whatever you want whenever you want. Until next time, take care. Bye.